Hi guys, this is Tank Mechanicus. I would like to show you a battle with the T92 light tank on the Malinovka map where I got 11,000 spoken damage. I already have 2 tank reviews on my channel where I describe my tactic on this map. So today we are not going to talk about tactics, we are going to talk about improving your win rate in World of Tanks. Please don't expect any ideal solution from me. I am not planning to teach you how to play World of Tanks. I just want to share my experience regarding the win rate and how my gaming behavior changed after a few thousand battles. I would like to talk about it because I often see good players with 10, 20, 30,000 battles, but they have win rate less than 50%, sometimes it's even much less than 50. Many players complain that World of Tanks is an unfair game where it's not possible to have a good win rate. My experience can be useful for such players. By the way, I heard an opinion that win rate is only for players who care about their stats, and it's a sort of a wrong behavior if somebody cares about their win rate. To be honest, I completely disagree, because a lot of things in this game depends on the win rate. You earn more reward credits and experience for a battle if you win. The battle pass progress also depends on your win rate. Some missions can only be completed if you win a battle. So overall, the game is more convenient if you win more often. You can buy and research more tanks faster, you can buy premium consumables, you can get better crews, for example female crews, and so on. Also, I cannot imagine any person who enjoys losing. For example, the main reason I started to play World of Tanks was because I was interested in tanks and World War II. I didn't pay attention to my win rate when I played my first 500 battles, but then, the closer I was to higher tiers, the more I cared about my win rate, especially because I played without the premium account. The game economy requires you to have a good win rate, otherwise you have to pay or spend a lot of time playing the game even when you don't want to play. I noticed that usually I have many wins or losses in a row. For example, one evening I play a tank and I have more than 60% win rate. Another evening I always lose with the same tank, but if I change the tank to another one, there is some probability that my win rate will be better. Sometimes it's even funnier. I periodically play a tank for a month, my average damage is not bad, but I always lose. Then suddenly I start to win. Yes, I agree, this partly depends on my skill. You can say that I am not skilled enough to always lead my team to win. What is about the opposite case? Why do I have many wins in a row when I am useless? I think partly is the keyword here. Every time you get to a battle, you have a new team which has different players, different equipment, crews and so on. On different days, the difference is even greater. So statistically, every day, even if you lose with most of your tanks, you have a chance to find a tank which will be relatively comfortable to play. If you lose with tier 8 light tanks, switch to tier 7, then to tier 6. If nothing works for you, switch to another class. Yes, sometimes it will not work at all. In such cases you can just stop playing for a day. Personally, I don't have such an issue often, so maybe this is when your skill helps you. It doesn't guarantee you shall have a good win rate with every tank and every day, but it increases chances to find a convenient tank for this specific moment. So my method is simple. For example, I would like to play light tanks this evening. If I don't care which tank to play, I start with a tier 8 light tank, because I have the worst win rate with tier 8 tanks. Usually I play T92 first, because it's my favorite tier 8 light tank. I play a battle. If I win, I continue to play T92. If I win again and then lose rarely, I will play the tank the whole evening. I will not switch to another tank at all. If the first battle is lost, I will switch to another tier 8 tank. Let's say LC even 90. Again, if I win with LC even 90, then win again and then lose rarely, I will play it the whole evening. Although usually it doesn't work this way. If I lose with one tier 8 light tank, I will also lose when I play the other tier 8 light tanks. Anyway, if any of the first 2 battles is successful, I will mix those 2 tanks. For example, every time I lose with T92, I will switch to LC even 90. When I lose with LC even 90, I will switch back to T92, and so on. If my win rate is higher than 50%, or maybe sometimes 50%, then I will continue to play. Otherwise, I will go to tier 7 or tier 9 and do the same again. Then to tier 6. By the way, probably tier 6 is the easiest one for me to win, especially on weekdays. To be honest, I don't know the server stats, but I think it's because on weekdays we have fewer players. and the tier 6s played more than the higher tiers. On weekends, my higher tier win rate is similar to the tier 6 one, probably because more players play on weekends and there is a greater chance they will play a higher tier tank. Although this was correct 3-5 years ago when we had more players in the North American cluster. Recently it's not so clear. I will talk about it more in another video. Anyway, let's assume I played 5-7 battles this evening and lost most of them. I can switch to a different class and do the same, but probably I will stop playing. If tomorrow I have the same issue, then I will not play for next 2-3 days, although such issues are rare. Unfortunately, overall this method is not for everyone. You cannot use it if you have few tanks or when you actively research tanks. You cannot earn double experience every day for the first win. Also, you cannot focus on campaign missions because they depend on tank classes. Some classes might fail for you today or tomorrow. By the way, I suggest that you do not focus on campaign missions a lot. Just play the game and most of them are going to be completed automatically. Okay, the most spectacular part of the battle is over, so let's look at the battle results. More than 11,000 sporting damage, scout and patrol duty medals. Zero damage, and this is probably the reason why I didn't get the Ace Tanker Master badge. 152,000 credits. Nobody spotted me in this battle except the last destroyed enemy tank. Thank you for watching, please like the video and subscribe.